Hello and welcome back to another new edition of Nile Cruise. And in this edition of Nile Cruise, we're going to be bringing you a number of topics that might come to your interest. And we're going to be starting off with the one of our topics, which is modern technology. Of course, modern technology is the talk of the era, and it is one of the mainstreams for simple life. We can't live a simple life you cannot continue your day without modern technology. You find modern technology connected and communicated, and it has a direct relation with every intricate detail in your life, starting from the time you wake up until you go to bed. But the question is, how does modern technology reshape your family relations, your life as a human being? How does it interact with your relationship with other people? Of course, this has been a debate between people, and until now this debate isn't being answered yet. Very delighted to be having with us Dr. Wael Badawy. He's a PhD holder in computer engineering. Hello, Dr. Wael.
How are you?
So let's talk about technology. Of course, technology is a wonderful thing, and it connects the whole world. But at the same time, there are disadvantages to technology. Talk to us about this. Are you with or against? And what are the real disadvantages without any being biased or something?
It's a very deep question. We have to understand that technology is a tool. And if we use the tool effectively, efficiently, within its own premises, we will be with the technology. It will facilitate our life. It will help us getting into different areas, money transactions, connecting, checking, validating. However, if we abuse it and use it outside its own premises or promise, we are having a negative impact. Unfortunately, we lack what we call it digital culture. So, for example, when we look at jobs, we go to a website where jobs will be posted. We don't look for only jobs. We start to look and then see this particular ad, go here, go there. We found that time we don't have cautious of time. So when we talk about how to use technology, it's very effectively, it connects our people together, it connects people from different areas, it facilitates shopping, it facilitates payment. We can talk about so many, even watching movies on demand or video on demand or TV programs on demand, songs. You can do so many things. However, we have to maintain it within its own time. Is not to take all of our time.
Right, but why then we find things like families, they are disconnected, they are not connected anymore, and the identity thefts when it comes to financial issues, and you could find some hacking of over your information. Someone might bribe you, and you could, and the best proof for that is WikiLeaks and other documents that have been hacked, and it was a catastrophe. Have other things that are really causing lots and lots of problems. I mean, is there any solution to this?
The reason for all of this is basically lack of digital culture. We have to understand, we have to be educated in how to use the technology, not how to use the platform. So you mentioned few issues or few observations. Let's talk about hacking your information. Usually when someone will send you a link or send you an email, which suspicious email, you should avoid clicking on this link, and you should also avoid reading this email because it's not from a trusted source. So if I don't have the culture, if I don't know that I should not take these actions, I will be subject to hacking. Exactly like when you open the door at your house, when somebody foreign is knocking on the door, and this apparently is a thief or somebody who wants to harm you, and you don't know. So usually you leave the door clogged. So what we want to say is, usually you have this observation, but this observation is connected to how do we use the technology. All what you mentioned, it's a human error. We as human, when you use this technology, we need to be educated how effectively, efficiently to use it, and how to make sure we are safe and secure. How to make sure that we are not leaking out or we are not putting out information more than what's needed to be shared with others. And I'd always ask this question. With the new technologies we have in hand, you can do a face password. So basically you point the phone to your face. If it knows it's you, it will allow you to get in. It's a replacement for the text password or the digit passwords. It means that your phone, when you move it, the camera is taking photos of the surroundings.
But sometimes it doesn't recognize your own face.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't recognize your own face.
That's
but
a real problem. with
But the
everybody.
message is, it takes photos.
It only happens with women, but not men.
You may be right, but it takes photos, which means that you know that when your phone is moving, it takes photo of the surrounding.
Come again, please? What does that mean?
It means that your phone is taking photos of you and the surrounding to be able to match your face with the face ID so it can open.
How does it take photo when I do not order to?
Because the way the sensor works for as identification with photos is you build a 3D view of your face. This, when you do the calibration, it will ask you to look from different directions. It generates
Okay,
this 3D.
this is the first time.
This is the first time. Then
because-
what will happen? It will take photos of you when you move it, because the accelerometer will recognize the phone is start to move, and suddenly it will take photos of you
Without me knowing it?
without you knowing it. And then this photo will be matched against the signature of the
Why
photo.
doesn't it recognize me after that?
It's an issue with the recognition program. Or maybe I have glasses, I move my glasses. It also happened to me. Maybe
But then-
I have a scarf, I move the scarf, it's a different story. So when you see people having a scarf in particularly, and then they take photos without scarf, we have to tell them, be careful that these photos is existing on the phone. Somebody can go in and extract all of this data to validate if the phone password with faces working correctly or not. This is where we talk about culture of digital era. Is not you use it and you be happy. Oh yeah, it's your,
No,
let me
the
show
culture,
you.
yeah. That is the key word.
This is a culture.
We need to talk a lot about the culture of the digital era. Well, that's a good headline, by the way. It's a good definition at the same time. But there is the constant digital access have changed people's values there. It's changed how people interact with each other. But then, before I forget the point of like taking photos, lots of people were warning digital experts that you do not leave your phone anywhere while you are talking or while you are doing something private, like you're eating, you're taking a shower or whatever, because it records and it takes photos or like sort of videos. How far is that true, and explain to us?
Apparently the companies providing these tools do not fully disclose, but all the observation we have, it shows that this is true. And let's talk about the observation. When you download a new program, let's start from the beginning. The program will ask you to access information from other program on your phone. It will tell you, I will use data from other programs on your phone. I will track data from other programs on your phone. Different ways to ask the same question. Then what will happen is, we will be talking on the phone, or we will be talking close to the phone, and suddenly you find this particular platform is showing you advertisement using the same keyword of our discussion. To give a quick example, assume we want to go to any place, we want to go to Muqattam, for example. So suddenly you'll find all advertisement about, for example, restaurant in Muqattam, sightseeing in Muqattam Heights. So the question is, how the phone have passing this information to the application. The technical reality is, a phone, microphone, or camera is an actual separate application on your handset phone. And when you allow a new program to access data from other application, it includes the phone, the camera, the telephone. So basically it extracts this information.
But how is it turned on without me turning it on?
Because you can basically turn on these sensors without indicating lights. It turns on. These are automatic. Yeah, it's connected to the battery.
And how come I don't see the photos? Or
Because
I don't
the
see
photos is processed inside the program.
What program?
For identification or for detection. The interesting part is, to do the recognition, the processor of your phone is weak. It cannot do recognition, is weak. So where is the recognition of this vocals will be done on the cloud,
Oh,
which
so
means
it's going to be available for everybody.
we don't know. We suspect it will be available, or we suspect the availability of this to be on outside control over your phone, that somebody can extract it. And this is all not to scare the viewers. This all are observations supporting by example. I bet you if we say who in the viewers, which we cannot do it on TV's channels, but if we come and say who in the viewers have experienced similar situation, all of our viewers will raise their hand and say yes. In situation we're talking about specific topics, a specific clothing, trips, anything, and suddenly we found advertisement about it.
Exactly, but that's because there was sound that was heard. But then when you are thinking, if you are quiet and you're staying by yourself, and then you find the same thing.
This is not, the thinking is not true. You must be doing something in between. You maybe browse or stand in front of a post. So when you be on any of the social media, try to use this example.
Those similar posts, and then I can.
Yes. So if you look for coffee beans, you will find all the advertising about coffee beans. If you look for clothing, for shoes, for example, all of them are. If you look for bags, all of them is about bags. If you look for companies or new schools, all of them will be about new schools.
Right. But then talking about the constant use of digital media, or the constant presence of digital media, have changed the whole concept of life and how people interact. I mean, people don't interact normally like before. They are so much way artificial, especially the new generation. They have their terms and everything. How do you justify that? And is that healthy? Is it normal with the momentum?
How to justify that? It reminds me was there was the CEO of Microsoft. He was giving a talk in 2008. He was talking about the internet. He says along the line, which is there something in the future will connect people, and people will start to connect and use them. When we saw the early practice of social media, we could not believe that people will spend more time on the screens and on the digital era. Right now, this is the trend of our life. We are responsible to a certain extent that we are allowing our kids to use the phone, because the kids is connected to some shows, some videos, some entertainment. So mother and father now, instead of trying to spend more time with their kids, they hand them the phone, and the phone will be screens, the kids will spend time on it. They are not aware that the minimum age for someone to use digital platform is 13 years old. They are not aware that Australia, for example, issued a new law that nobody below 16 years old can use digital media, unsupervised. So we are responsible. However, the new lifestyle we have from workplaces, it mandates that you are always on digital platforms. So how many messages you get, and how long people will wait for the message. In the past, they used to send you a letter or a telegraph. After that, they used to give you a phone call. Nowadays, in our jobs, no matter what kind of work you do, you will be getting a message on a specific platform, and if you don't reply to this message within 1, 2, 3, 5 minutes, you'll find people coming to your door, knocking. Oh, I sent you a message 5 minutes ago. Why did not reply? You are in the same office, why didn't you come to me? You are in the same building, why didn't you come to talk to me? So now people are compromising their human interaction with messages. On the same token, I was set up to do a meeting for a discussion for my work, and the party which is asking me to meet, they asked me to meet digitally on Wednesday.
That's becoming very common.
Although they are less than 10 minutes driving from my office. So I would love to go over there and have them. I want to enjoy that nice coffee.
That's humane interaction.
And you can see their reactions, you can see their reflections. You are not just behind a voice. However, this is a standard. Now no one wants to move around. We want to be scheduling all our meetings online, so we can start and have meetings. It increases the productivity. And also, when we have such a situation, the same thing for the university. All the students, they would like to have everything recorded, everything digital. Why? According to their justification, because they can review the material before the exam. They can replay the lectures. which is a positive because they want to do extra effort. But on the other hand, when you have them in online classes, some of them will be at their own pace, at their home, not fully dressed, not ready for going outside, and they will turn off the camera and they will listen. Sometimes they fall asleep. So they are not really connecting. So we have, as I said at the very beginning, you have the positive and the negative aspect of the technology.
Then let's get into the signs, the bad signs, or the effects of using too much technology. You are an AI expert, and you have a lot of experience when it comes. No, that's a bad sign. You should stop here.
We talk a lot about the negative impact on the social fabric and social and the culture, because when you spend too much time on your social media or on your technology, we have to ask first why we spend or why we are attracted to these particular platforms. Because the main goal of this platform is to keep you as long as they can, because this is how they send you advertisement, this is how they get money, by keeping more audience all the time. Then what happens is, when you are online, you basically disconnect from everyone around you. And if you connect from everyone in the surrounding, what will happen is you will start to build your own echo room, which means you will be aware and you will hear what you like. But by doing so, and you hear what you like, you have what you like, you'll be engaged more with this platform. This platform suddenly can start to create ideas and the new concepts. And in between the messages, it might be some extra messages to change or to play with your, I don't want to say it's your belief, but what's your understanding of the surrounding. So you can be basically recruited.
Conception. But then I need to ask you something very important, that everybody now is being dazzled, they're being astonished, or they are in disbelief, but it's happening. Like the sites and the different platforms, AI platforms, and the different technological platforms, maybe called social media platforms, that is encouraging, it's similar to what you're talking now, that is encouraging violence, it's encouraging the types of sports that is dangerous sports, like the parkour, like jumping from heights and all that, which is very dangerous too, and it's all directed towards the underage.
Which is all directed towards the underage. So if I look at the underage, they are very curious, and they have less fear, and they want to have new experience. They want to practice.
They need to explore everything.
They need to explore. So it's out of human curiosity. So when I provide or I feed this human curiosity more and more and more and more, the individuals will feel like they're curious to know more. So they will spend more time on these platforms. And suddenly the question is, these colleagues and these people in similar age to you are doing it, why you don't do it? So by influence in this way, people will feel the courage of moving from the virtual world to the actual world and do it. And this is where we talk about, do we have a culture of dealing with digital platforms? So the culture will say, we have to monitor these particular platforms. We have to be able to talk to our parent, to our guardian, about the content of this platform. Parents themselves, they must participate in these games. They must participate in this platform. Participating not by touching the screen of your kids or your daughter or your son. Participating means you have similar screen and use it and be with them in the game to audit what's happening. Having man in the middle is a key to solve this problem. But you are right, this is the current generation. They are curious, and because of the curiosity, they likely find somebody who can feed them. They create what we call it echo room.
Echo room.
Echo room.
What's an echo room?
An echo is when you say a word and it bounces to you back. So the echo room is the room where your ideas comes back to you. We always joke about that to explain it. It's like when you talk to yourself. So when you talk to yourself, it's the same echo. You say one sentence, it comes back to you, and yourself will saying to you, and you repeat it. So this echo room is very dangerous because eventually you can encapsulate their brains and their ideas into specific areas. I always say the example, imagine there is an earthquake or there is a strong wind coming, and you sit on your media, social media, you will not see this notification. What you see is what you used to see. More pleasures they give you by pleasing you, but what you are looking for, not everything. That's why we talk about it as echo rooms.
Right, but then those teenagers or this bracket of age, they do not respond to their parents the right way or the way they expect them to respond. And that's why, because they talk about privacy, they talk about that they're now grown-ups, nobody's interfering in their lives, and probably they have their own life to lead it. The characters are becoming so complicated, and it's also because of the social media. So how can parents, the older generation, cope? It's the other way around, not the parents who would direct their siblings and their sons and daughters. It's the parents who would cope with those generations.
What you state is true, but not for social media. It was early true for schools. If you have a 3 to 5 years old kid will go to the school, he will never come back and talk about the school. He will never.
That's true.
Why? When we were asking early on, we were told this is his secret life. He is now grown up, so he wants to keep it secret. So we have been taught techniques to stimulate the kid without asking about the school, to talk more about the school. And one was the easiest technique was talk during the lunch time or during the family time on what you did today. And the parent will talk about what's the activity of today. They went to work, they drive cars, they did that. Suddenly you will find this kid after few days will start to tell you all details about the school. I bring this scenario because this scenario is known in psychology and in how to grow kids. It's the same in social media. It's the same with these kids. When I go home, when I talk about what I watch on these games, what I watch on this social media, I found the friends around me or my family members will start to talk about what they see also on these platforms. And from that point, you start to create dialogue and you start to know. It comes back to educate people how to maintain digital culture. So digital culture means how I deal with these digital platforms and protect myself, protect my loved ones, and how to gain knowledge in what people are using. If I come and ask directly, what did you do in the game? Nobody will tell you. But if you come and say, in a similar game I played, I had 1, 2, 3, you will find the other party will start to tell.
They would take the initiative.
They will tell and they'll take initiatives. And this has to be a dialogue, and this dialogue is regular. We do the same dialogue with our elderly ones in my family. So we sit and talk about, did you watch this ad? You know that for sure. Each one has his own personality screen, and the ads will not be replicated. But sometimes, I see this ad. There's the new opening of this store today. Oh, I saw this one. I saw this. What about? And then we start to discuss the media. And say, let's be aware that this particular piece of media is is fake news. This piece of media is basically not new. It's information from 2018, 2016. So we start to discuss with the elderly, because whatever you see in the young generation is mirrored actually in our elderly generation, because this for them is also a new thing. So this is how we vet the information, and we transfer our knowledge and our experience in how to use this social media and digital platform to our family member. Create a dialogue. And this is one piece which people have to be trained how to create a dialogue so they can get to know more.
So do you think that the screens in general, I mean, pointing my face to a screen 24/7, like if I go to Badawy, I'm on the screen and looking and following the social media, does it affect my intelligence, my IQ rates, my cognition cognitive abilities, my emotional intelligence at large?
Um, it should have some effect, and there are so many medical studies talk about different effects. But for sure, if I'm attached to screen, I forget what I can do by hand. So my kinesthetic access or my kinesthetic ability to touch and sense will be decreased. On the other hand, I don't want to be, I want to play the devil advocate here, and I want to tell you, when you be behind the screen and you look at the proper content, you'll explore the whole world. You can read in different language, you can visit different cities, you can watch different music, you can and dances, and you basically are exposed to different cultures. So you expand your knowledge, you expand your presence as well. But you have to be organized, that you don't use it 24/7. You use it for like 6 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours. Nowadays we we run into issues when we talk about new kids coming to school and all of their education is online. So now they'll be attached to screens. So how you can control the screen when people are using their lectures online? So we have to have a schedule, so we cannot take it to bed. We cannot take it to bed because of the very first point we talked about. It can turn on sound and video.
Surveillance and stuff like this.
There can be they call it Big Brother watching. It can be a surveillance. That's why we shouldn't allow electronics inside our bedrooms. And if we allow them, we have to put them aside away from any views, because we don't know what the issue is. We don't manufacture this platform, we don't program it, so we don't know what could happen. That's why we're trying to warn people that you have to be careful when you get it close by.
Do you expect AI and social media and technology in that particular sphere to develop more than this? And because people keep talking, I mean, experts like you, they keep talking endlessly, not endlessly, like talking too much, but talking, skipping from one topic to the second level, to the third, to the fourth. People are talking about the meta, and if you're going to be in the near future moving from one place to the other, visiting countries, and I mean things that we do not believe in. We are still in disbelief of it. Is it going to happen?
It's happening elsewhere, because and I can tell you, like now more than 8 years ago, I was at my house and suddenly I heard a strange voice. So I climbed the stairs to look at my son. Apparently he was under one of these metaverse games. And he opens the screens, he opens the speakers by mistake, and suddenly I found a normal voice, as if you have a new visitor, and it was only me and him in the house.
So what was the story?
The story is, if you have...
Because we're old-fashioned, we need explanation.
The story is, currently in areas where you have a strong internet, there are these virtual visits. So these virtual visits and this online gaming where you have cameras and you have binoculars and glasses on your eyes and try to look at the metaverse and visit different places, it happens. But in our countries in the Middle East, we don't have that fast internet to be in every home, because the density we have in our towers do not allow each home to have a high bandwidth.
Thanks to God.
It's not thanks to God, it's one of the challenges for this technology. These technologies, it happened. And I can tell you also, when we were going to different new cities, we start to hear comment from the little ones that, oh, it doesn't look like this. What do you mean? Oh, on the game I played 2 years ago, this street does not look like this. So it happened. It has a challenge. The challenge will come at the cost of the equipment. The second part in the operation, that you don't have the bandwidth for the internet, you don't have the Arabic content, you don't have the games which meet our cultures, so people don't get into this particular environment. But to answer, yes, we took my last published paper actually was what are the guidelines of using metaverse as journalism. So they expect that journals, newspaper, will come on metaverse, which means that you have your glasses.
Like if I'm watching TV.
like you are watching personalized TV. And we watched this last July in a court operation. There was a judge having the exact glasses themselves, and he looked at simulation of the actual crime. So these things will happen. Now, how much do we accept it? How much our society will have infrastructure and technology to accept it? I don't believe it will stay longer, because we have lots of discussions now, like your discussion. What are the negative impact of digitalization of social media? If I want to take you to the other extreme, which was ever happening right now with the election and the ballot, there are so many voices now are voicing out, we need to have electronic vote for our elections. And they talk about saving money and saving time and saving energy. Now, will you accept having electronic vote? Our society is not ready for that. So if you want to have, if we start on a smaller scale, we may end up having a large vote. So what I'm saying is, with the time and the progression of small component or small scenarios, we may accept it at large. It will keep developing, because we are at this era where technology is the dominant revenue for companies on the stock market, and the more the companies will make money, the more better technology will come, and there will be a competition between these particular companies.
I guess we have a lot to talk about when it comes to AI and social media, and questions will never end. And if we talk this week, we'll have more, hundreds and hundreds of questions next week. It's becoming so rapid and fast, and we need to become very full aware of it and well educated also. We need people like you.
Thank you. And
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wael. That was a real pleasure. You are a PhD holder in computer engineering, Dr. Wael Badawy. May you have the best time ever, and make sure that you make a safe use of the social media and AI.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we're going to go to a short break. We'll come to continue Nile Cruise, so stay with us.